Hey, welcome back to my channel. They call me Charisma. And this is going to be or sound kind of random because I couldn't piece everything together the way I wanted to, but I wanted to talk. So here I go. um, as you know, this today is a new moon. Um, in Capricorn, it's called a black moon. It's very auspicious. And with a new moon, all things are possible. And I wanted to talk about this, I think, because this channel is for um, women over 50, women who are of African ancestry, like myself, and because there's this propaganda, this lie, this thing that is not true. That when you get to a certain age, and this is for any woman, when you get to a certain age, there's no newness left in you. There is um, nothing new about you. You have arrived at an age where all things stop being new. You cannot reinvent yourself. You're there at who you are. And this is who you are, and that's it. And that's not true. What is true is you can always redefine who you are. You can always become and always be becoming because you have choices. And as I stated long ago, choice is your superpower. You have an opportunity to always be the person that you want to be. You never have to stop doing that. But it requires work from you. It requires you to leave all things that no longer serve you in the rearview mirror. It requires you to know who you are. It requires you to never look outside of yourself to establish the person that you want to be. And it requires you to be honest about that. It requires you to stop being a victim. It requires you to be the person that you want to do, and it can be challenging to do that. So, we're getting ready to go into 2025, which is a 9 year. 9 represents a number of change, and we're about to see some changes. Change can be this thing that people talk about with fear and anxiety, but change is always happening, whether you want to believe that or not. Change is happening moment by moment, breath by breath. You can look outside of your window and see wherever you are changes. Now, if you are lucky enough to be in a place that is warm and sunny all the time, like Hawaii, you get to see that all the time. But even with that, change is going on. There are flowers that are in bloom. There are flowers that are not blooming so much. But if you live in other places of the country, you will see leaves falling off the trees. You will see trees that look like they are dormant, but they are changing. They are doing something. They are preparing. When you look at yourself in the mirror, I don't look the same as I did before. If you look at my thumbnail, I have long locks. That picture was from 2016. I've always had long hair. When I turned 50, I started shaving my hair off, and I didn't let it grow back because this is what I wanted. This is the thing that fit me. But I had to try something else to know that. I had to decide that I wanted to be able to look at myself and say, I like this better than this other thing that other people really liked a lot. They found the long hair very attractive, but I didn't like it anymore. So when you start stepping into these changes, the fear will show up as a way to get you to back down. It will show up as a way to get you to go back to this old habit because that's your level of comfort. So I want to encourage you, if there is something that you want, something that you've been desiring to do that thing. I wanted to have a channel. I wanted to do something that I thought I could never do. Like, I really never thought I would be on here doing this. But I have a small number of subscribers. I'm hopeful that that number will build and grow. I have things that I want to talk about. I'm hoping that I will be able to get a niche, I think that's what it's called, and be able to grow that, and people will be interested and come and join. But even if that doesn't happen, I've done this thing that I didn't think I could do. I've overcome a fear of thinking I couldn't do this thing. And I've overcome lots of fears in my life. And so have you. So don't be afraid of that. So that's the thing I wanted to talk about change, the 9 year that we're coming into, and that stuff. But I want to talk about this too. Colors. So I was watching this video about colors. And you don't know this, but when I first started my very first career, because I've had many, I was in retail and I wanted to be a buyer. And what a buyer does is, this is the person, and I don't even know if they do this anymore, but the buyer would be the person that would purchase the clothes that would go into a clothing store. So the buyer does the fashion forecast. They do these predictions of what's going to be hot, what's going to sell, and they go to the fashion shows. They do the traveling. They do all of those things, and they create what you see in the stores. And this is what I wanted for my career. When I was in high school, I took fashion classes. I did designs, and did some modeling in school. And this is what I enjoyed. But my parents were not with this whole thing of traveling and going to all these places. So when I graduated from high school at 17, my parents immediately said, you will not be going to fashion school. You can go to school to do business. So my first year in college, 17, I went to college and took business administration. And I hated it. It was a lot of math. It was a lot of stuff that was not creative and not what I wanted to do. I was accustomed to doing things that were much more creative, that was much more artsy. I mean, I had played the violin from elementary school to middle school. I sang. I was around artsy people. And with this business administration, it wasn't like that. I was around people who were number crunchers and people that everything was what the book said and following these very specific directions. And I didn't like it. So I didn't go back to school. So at 18, I moved out of my parents' home and worked. And just had 2 jobs, worked, and went back to college when I was 21 or 22 and went into fashion merchandising and loved it, everything about it. I had the opportunity to go to fashion market in New York, in Vegas, in Atlanta, and just really thrived in my program. So within that program, I took, of course, lots of coursework that was centered around fashion and started learning about colors, what they mean, how they make people feel. So I was watching a video the other day on YouTube, and it brought up some of that information that I had learned long ago. And one of the things that was discussed was the color red and the color pink. So, as you know, the color red is a color that is always used to express love and passion and courage. But the color pink is a love color that is this genuine love. It's the color that you wrap a baby in. It's that gentle, kind, sweet love. And I noticed that Ashanti wears a lot of pink, most especially when she's with Nelly. And I'm bringing this up because I want to know what your favorite color is and why you wear that color. And going into 2025, What colors do you think you're going to wear? And I'm going to talk more about colors because there are colors that bring abundance. There are colors that bring you wealth. There are colors that demonstrate to the world peace and calm. And these colors can help you when you're going to interviews. They can help you when you're going to close on a house. They can help you demonstrate and bring in help to you when you need that. So, what colors are your favorite colors? First question. And why is that your favorite color? What color are you going to be wearing in 2025? So, put that in the comments, and we're going to talk about colors some more on my next video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, with your family, and come back so that we can talk about some more colors.